Hello everyone, welcome to Calling Glass, welcome to the pod, welcome to the club. My name is Alvaro, as always, and today in the podcast, NBA 2025 Playoffs Preview, Part 1. Let's see it. So, to start, I'm recording this Saturday, which is the day that the playoffs start. A few hours away from the Bucks Pacers, and the goal of today is to do a preview of the series, of all the series that are going to happen from Saturday. Tomorrow I will upload the one from the series starting Sunday. So today we have Bucks Pacers, Clippers Nuggets, Lakers Minnesota, and I forgot the last one, but I have it in the paper, so I will talk about later. But yes, so I'm going to go one series by series, explaining some data, and then giving my personal touch to it, my context, what I think about them, and giving my prediction for each of the series. So, to start, I'm going to start with the one, I'm going to start in order of when does the game actually start. And the first game that is starting these playoffs is the Milwaukee Bucks at Indiana Pacers. Rematch from last year, first round. And yeah, let's go with it. So, records. Indiana is 4th in the East, and they have a record of 50 wins, and 32 losses. And Milwaukee Bucks are 5th in the East with a record of 48-34. Now, I looked at the stats of both teams last month, only taking into consideration from the 12th of March until the 12th of April, which was the last regular season game, so 1 month of competition. In the last month, the Indiana Pacers have a record of 13-4th, the third best record in the league in the last month. So 13 wins, 4 losses. Bucks 11-6, not bad either. Both of them have finished the season strong. If we look at offensive rating, Pacers were in the last month the 11th best team. Bucks were the 8th best team in offensive rating. In defensive rating, the Pacers were 10th, and Milwaukee Bucks were 15th. And total net rating, Pacers 8th of the league, Milwaukee Bucks 11th of the league. So, I mean, they are both 4th and 5th of the East Conference, so it makes sense that it's more or less equal ratings overall. Now, I also looked at efficiency field goal percentage. So, ponderating 3-pointers more. Here or two shooting percentage. Pacers are shooting at 57% from the field, and Bucks are shooting 58%. Now, another stat that I look is 3-point percentage of the shots that they take. So how many threes each team takes. Also very similar. Pacers take 41% of 3-pointers from the whole shots that they take during the game. 41% is threes. Bucks is 42%. And at what rate are they converting those 3-pointers? Well, Pacers are shooting at 38% rate, and Milwaukee at 39%. The last stat that I looked at of this last month of competition is the free throw to field goal attempt rate. So, how many free throws a team takes versus how many field goals they take. So Pacers, they are taking 15% of their shots overall are free throws. And for the Bucks, it's at 24%. So this means that 1 in 4 shots for the Bucks is a free throw. And they rank first in the NBA on this stat, which I think makes sense because Giannis is always going to the line. He's always attacking the rim, bumping into everyone. I don't know how he doesn't hit his knees with everyone. But yeah, they rank first in the NBA in free throw attempt rate compared to the whole total attempts that they do. Next segment, I looked at the head-to-head during the season between Indiana and Milwaukee. So they have faced each other 4 times this season with a record of 3 wins and 1 loss for the Milwaukee Bucks. What else? What is to say about this? The scoring average when they face each other was very high, with Milwaukee scoring 122 points per game and Indiana scoring 116 points per game. So very high score. And also what is noticeable, or what is to remark out of these stats, is the 3-point percentage. Because Indiana shot against Milwaukee at a 35% rate, but Milwaukee shot against Indiana at a 41% rate. So that may be the key. Who can score more efficiently from the 3-point line? Key players. I'm going to start with Indiana's key players. Haliburton. So Haliburton against the Bucks has averaged 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 10 assists, which compares to 18.5 points and 9 assists. So more or less the same as his normal regular season stats. But there is something a bit wrong with Haliburton against the Bucks, is his 3-point percentage. Against the Bucks, he has only shot at 32% from 3, while in reality, in the whole regular season, he's shooting at 39%. So a 7% drop for Haliburton. Next player is Siakam. Siakam has done against Milwaukee in the 4 games he has played 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists. Very similar to his real numbers. And from the Milwaukee part, Giannis has played also the 4 games, and he's scoring 30 points per game, 12 rebounds, and 8 assists against Indiana. Shooting, this is what is very good, shooting almost 65% from the field, which is 5% more than his real stats, because he's usually shooting at 60%. But against Indiana, he's shooting 65%, higher. So Giannis 30, 12, and 8. And then Lillard is only averaging 18 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. His real regular season stats are 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. So he's 7 points lower against the Indiana and comparing to the regular season. And why that might be? Well, his field goal percentage against Indiana is only 36%, while his field goal percentage in the regular season is 45%. So that probably is the cause of it. We move along. So now a bit of my subjective comments about this series. So very, very different styles matching each other. Indiana, who likes to run fast and shoot early in the shot clock. And on the other hand, we have Milwaukee, which they like to play slow. They're like a veteran team, and they like to play in static. So let's see who imposes the rhythm. Lillard, this is important, is back from the blood cloth that he had. He's probably missing game 1, but supposedly he will play the rest of the series. So that's important for the series, for these games. From the Indiana side, Haliburton lately has looked much better, much sharper physically. It feels like he's coming back to that Haliburton that I have talked before, that Haliburton from the early 2024 season. He looks like more explosive than usually, and he looks great, so that's good. Then I saw in one Indiana game, and Jarrett Walker looked very good from the bench, the Indiana player, kind of like second or third year for him. Siakam has been very consistent the whole season. He's playing great. He looks like, to me, when I see him, he looks like a panther there in the court, like running all over around, super fluid, as always, quick, long, lanky. Yeah, very scary to see. And then also from Indiana, I want to mention Andrew Nembhard, which I always mention. I really like his style because this guy is like not athletic, not tall, not super like talented, but his technique, his level of technique, individual technique is super advanced. He's like a player from the 22nd century, not from the 21st century. He's playing, his use of the body and of the dribbles are amazing. Now, from the Milwaukee side, they attack in offense very poorly, Milwaukee. But it's true that they convert hard shots. It's always tough for them to attack Yeah, when I see Giannis, it's always the same. It's like I don't know how he gets to the rim, but he gets to the rim. But yeah, they don't have a fluid offense, very static. They always do the same thing, kind of like one maybe pick and roll and pass to the corner for a 3-pointer. That's all they do. They run a pick and roll, and they either pass to the roll, they penetrate and pass to the corner. That's it for a 3-pointer. But it's true that they make tough shots sometimes. They do make them. Well, actually, Malik Beasley, he almost was he almost was the guy with the most 3-pointers this season in the league. Only Anthony Edwards was the one who superated him, who scored more the last game of the season. But yeah. Also, Kuzma, very quiet. He's been for the Bucks. Not good. So the key to the game for me is going to be who is able to impose the rhythm. If it's running up and down, Indiana might win. If it's static, maybe Milwaukee. But my prediction is that I don't trust Doc Rivers in playoffs. I also don't trust Damian Lillard's health. And I think Indiana has a better bench, more bench players. I think they can make more adjustments for the series. And I think they will take the series in 6 games, winning in Milwaukee the last game. I think they are the better team overall. So that's it for this series, and we move on to the next one. Next series is the other fourth and fifth from the West. So I'm talking about Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Clippers. So Denver has finished the season with a record of 50 wins and 32 losses, fourth in the West, and Clippers have finished with the same record, 50 wins and 32 losses, fifth in the West. Now, looking at the stats from the last month, Denver has done a record of 7 wins and 9 losses, so a losing record. On the other hand, Clippers have the best record in the NBA with 14 wins and 2 losses. Arriving pretty well the best moment, so that's good. With Kawhi actually playing, let's put it that way. With Kawhi playing and looking like some sort of Kawhi. So at least 80%, if not more, of Kawhi, which is, yeah, even for me, that the fact that he's just playing in the playoffs is something amazing, something to, really look at it, because it doesn't happen every year. Offensive rating, Denver has been the 14th team. Again, only looking at the last month of competition. And Clippers the best in the league. Defensive rating, Denver 20th. Clippers second in the league. Total net rating, Denver 18th. Clippers first. Now, if we look at true shooting, Denver is shooting at 56% rate, and Clippers have shot at 60% rate, first in the NBA. If we look at how many attempts they take from 3, out of all the attempts, out of all the field goals, how many of them are 3? For Denver is 37%, and for Clippers 36%. Both very low compared to other teams. And at what rate are they making those threes? Well, Denver is making them at 34% rate, and Clippers have made them at 44% rate, which is the highest in the NBA. Always last month. And then fifth free throw out of the whole field goal attempts. So how many free throws they take compared with the whole field goals that they take is 22% for Denver, 21% for Clippers. If we look at the matchups in between them, so when they face each other, they have faced each other 4 times this regular season, and they are tied to 2 wins each. The average scoring for Denver has been 118 points, and for Clippers, 109 points. So there's a big difference in points there. Why or what other stats are pushing this is the 3-point percentage. Denver against Clippers have shot at 42% from 3. On the other hand, Clippers have shot at 36% from 3. And 2-point percent as well. 58% for Denver, 52% for Clippers. And last data, or that last KPI, assists, Denver has given per game 31 assists. On the other hand, Clippers only 25 assists per game. Now looking at the key players, starting with Nikola Jokic. He has played 3 games against the Clippers with a record of 1-2, so he has a losing record against the Clippers, although Denver have 2-2 overall. he has put up 28 points, 10 rebounds, and only 6 assists per game, which is surprising compared to his 10 assists per game in the regular season. But his 3-point percentage against the Clippers in those 3 games, with 21 threes taken, is 52% from 3. So that's key as well. Next player we have is Jamal Murray. He has played the 4 games against the Clippers, averaging 20 points and 6 assists. Also remarkable his 3-point percentage, which is also 52%. Pretty high. Now in the Clippers side, we have James Harden, which he's averaging against Denver 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists. And Kawhi, who hasn't played against the Denver this season at all. Now we go a bit to the key points that I have written down for this series. Clippers, starting with Clippers. To me, I'm going back to the 3-point percentage of Jokic. To me, Ivica Zubac has been playing amazing this season, but I feel like Jokic is not a good matchup for him. Why? Because Jokic is like the better version of Zubac. He's like a big dude as well, not super quick, strong, but it's just like, I don't know what Zubac is better at than Jokic. Maybe a bit on the defense, but overall, I think Jokic is gonna own Zubac. So I don't see a good series for Zubac against the Denver Nuggets. And yeah, also if Zubac is not a guy who can go through 3-point line, so maybe Jokic, if he shoots 50%, yeah, it's gonna be very hard for the Clippers. Also, Clippers in offense, from the last games that I saw from them, even with Kawhi, I feel like they have a lot of issues in offense. They're a good defense, but in offense, I thought that they were going a lot to the 1-on-1 of Kawhi or of Harden. And I don't know if that's going to do it for them always. So struggles in offense. Although on the other hand, they have the better coach, in my opinion, especially now that Denver doesn't have a coach. Tyronn Lue is a great coach. He's a great at making adjustments mid-game and also in between games. And they have kind of a bigger bench, Clippers. On the other hand, like I said, Nuggets, they don't even have a coach. They have a new coach. I think the Nuggets, well, I will say this later. Now, Jokic. It's true that I'm realizing that this guy, people say it, but this guy is looking, it's true, a bit fat, but I feel like each time he's moving better. I feel like his legs are actually looking more toned and slimmer. And I feel like he's moving better than always or never. He's really moving great, quicker. I definitely see it. But now, the problem comes when Jokic is in the bench. Denver is absolutely terrible with Jokic in the bench. So let's see what happens. The things that I feel like Denver actually got lucky with this matchup. If Denver will have played the Warriors or Minnesota, I would have favored Warriors and Minnesota over Denver. I think Denver right now, without a coach or after firing the coach, they are very vulnerable. I still think they are vulnerable. I think they need to manage the bench, and I think if things get tough, I think not having a leader in the locker room might be an issue, and they could mentally go away. But I feel like Clippers is a good matchup for Denver. I think Jokic can dominate, and if like I said, if they don't crumble against the instability of the no head coach situation, I think they can win this series. And my prediction is that it will be Denver winning in 7 games. And we move on to the next series. Next series is the New York Knicks Knickerbockers against the Detroit Pistons. Knicks have finished the regular season with a record of 51 wins and 31 losses. They are third in the East. And Detroit, they are 44 and 38, sixth in the East. Amazing season for Detroit that they were the worst team last year. And now they made the playoffs without even playing. So pretty props to them. Looking at the last month of competition, Knicks have a record of 9 wins and 8 losses. And Detroit have a record of 7 wins and 8 losses. In terms of offensive rating, Knicks have been the 19th best team or in the league in offensive rating. Detroit 12th in offensive rating. Defensive rating, Knicks 12th, Detroit 14th. Net rating total, Knicks 15, Detroit 14th. If we look at true shooting, they have exactly the same field goal or effective field goal percentage with a 54.5%. In terms of who shoots more threes, they both are third and fourth that shoots the less threes. Only 37% from their shots are from three-point line. And in terms of making those shots, they are also very tight. Knicks are making 37% of the threes, and Detroit are making the 37.5% of the threes. And lastly, the free throw. Out of their shots, Knicks take 16% free throws, but Detroit, they are taking 23% free throws, the second highest mark on the NBA the last month. Now let's look at the stats head-to-head in between Knicks and Detroit, which actually Detroit, they have faced each other 4 times, and Detroit has won 3 out of the 4 times against the Knicks. They have scored 114 points of average, Detroit, and Knicks 116, so higher average Knicks, but very tight, as we see. What other stats are highlighting here is the steals. New York Knicks average against Detroit 11 steals per game, while Detroit averaged 6.5. Assists, Knicks 29, Detroit 23, and free throw attempts, 16 for Detroit, 20 for the Knicks. And now we'll go to the key players. From Knicks, Jalen Brunson, he's averaging against Detroit 28 points, 3 rebounds, 8 assists. And Karl Anthony Towns, he's played only 3 games. 3 out of 4. He has averaged 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. On the Michigan side, we have Cade Cunningham averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 8 assists. 31 points, which is 5 points more than his regular season average of 26. So pretty good. And I feel like that's because his 3-point percentage against the Knicks is 52% from 3, compared to his 35.5 that he has in the regular season. So big increase in his 3-point percentage, big increase in points. A bit of context. When I saw, if this is a key moment for Cade Cunningham, because he wants to be a star of the league and he's going to his first playoffs, and he has been playing great. He has been playing at his rhythm, which is what everyone thought of him. He's not like a quick or explosive player, but he's athletic in terms that he's big and strong and with a good dribble, big for a point guard. And he's playing like that. He's playing at his rhythm. He's shooting great, the floaters. He has the floater game super dominated. And even closer to him, he's playing great like that. Now, if he can also shoot at a 52% from 3-point line, this is going to be a very complicated series for Knicks. Also from Detroit, Jalen Duren. This guy is tough, is rough. I don't know if you have seen some videos from him from close, but his arms, he has too many bumps. It looks like if you will bump into him, you will get hurt. Yeah, too many muscles for him. Overall, I think Detroit has a chance. I think they go without any pressure. I think they already overachieved this season, so they can just go out and have fun. Probably inexperience for them plays a factor, but I also think in the Knicks side, I think Tom Thibodeau's style of playing, I don't think is that useful in the playoffs because intensity is already 100%. And Knicks are usually a team that wins a lot of games in regular season because of intensity. Intensity doesn't matter anymore in playoffs. Everyone is 100% intensity, so it really doesn't matter. But yes, I still have the Knicks winning. I think overall they are the better team. I think they have the more talent, they have the more experience. And I have them winning in 6 games, winning in Detroit the last game. So yes, probably they lose a couple. Maybe one at home, very typical for the Knicks, maybe even the first one at home. And I think Detroit can win another one at home, and then probably Knicks win the last 2 in a row. And now we move on to the last matchup of the evening. It is the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. Lakers have finished 3rd in the West with a record of 50 wins and 32 losses. Minnesota has finished 6th in the West with a record of 49 wins and 33 losses. Only one win of difference. The West is very packed. So, yeah, the win difference is not that much. But yeah, they are 3rd and they are 6th. Looking at the last month, Lakers are 10-8. Timberwolves are 11-4. Lakers are the 10th best offensive rating team. Timberwolves have the 4th best offense. Defense, Lakers are 22nd. Timberwolves are 6th in defense. In terms of net rating, Lakers 16th, Timberwolves 4th. If we look at true shooting, Lakers have shot at 57%, Timberwolves have shot at 58%. And how many threes they take? Lakers, out of the whole shots that they take, 47% of them are three-pointers. From the Timberwolves is 44%. And at what rate they make them? Lakers make them at 40%, Timberwolves at 37.5%. Now, lastly, looking at the free throw attempts, out of the field goals that they take for Lakers, free throws are 21.5% of them, and Timberwolves 21%. So not much difference. Now, if we look at the head-to-head in between Minnesota and Lakers, they are tied 2-2, so 2 wins and 2 losses for each. It's true that most of the games are from the early part of the season, from 2024. Key things that I see here is that the field goal percentage or efficient field goal percentage is favoring Minnesota. So Lakers shot against them at 46% and Minnesota shot at 51%. And that's coming mostly because of three-pointer. So Lakers shot against them at only 23%. Meanwhile, Minnesota shot at 33%. But again, these are very old games. Luka was not there, so it's a new team, let's say the Lakers, so it's hard to judge. Key players. LeBron James has played 3 games against Minnesota, and they won 2 with him. He has scored 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists against them. Not that much compared to his regular season games, which he's averaging 25 points instead of 20. And his assists, he did 5, but in regular season he's doing 8 assists. So again, not the best against Minnesota. And 3-point percentage against Minnesota, only 29%, when in regular season he has done a 37.5%. Then Luka Doncic hasn't played as a Laker against Minnesota. He has played only as a Dallas Maverick. And he has scored 20 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists against Minnesota in 3 games. Shooting very bad from 23%. But again, if I'm not wrong, this was with Dallas, and it's different right now, the context. Now, if we look at Anthony Edwards, he has played 4 games against Lakers. He has a scoring average of 19 points, very low comparing to his 28 points per game in regular season. As well, 3 assists only, which is down 1.5 assists comparing to his 4.5 assists per game in the regular season. His 3-point percentage against Lakers is down from a 40% in regular season to a 32% against the Lakers. Now, key comments. Who guards who? Who's going to guard LeBron and Luka? Maybe McDaniels is going to guard LeBron, and Ant-Man, Anthony Edwards, should guard Luka. I think it would be good. It would be good because if not, I mean, I feel like the good defenders that they have, Minnesota is McDaniels, and that's it. Mike Conley is a good defender in the point guard, but he's not that quick. And I feel like Anthony Edwards can be, or he's a good defender, so maybe it's a good idea to put him on Doncic and make him work in the offense and in the defense. He has the legs for it, so he can prove himself a lot if he can, lock down Luka in defense and then score 30 in the other hand. Yeah. In the side of the Lakers, I think probably will be in between Finney-Smith and Vanderbilt to guard Anthony Edwards. Another question, will the Lakers play small to force Rudy Gobert out of the lineup? Maybe with Hachimura at the 5. I think they can do it. The problem, Gobert is not a good offensive center. So Lakers don't need a big guy to play defense on Gobert. They can put Hachimura or Finney-Smith or Vanderbilt at the 5. If that happens, they will play in offense with 5 out, and Gobert will be useless in defense because he will have to be out in the perimeter. So maybe they do that. They play small ball and they force Gobert out of the rotation. Let's see. More context about Luka. First thing that I saw that I didn't know, Luka Doncic is actually younger than Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves is born in the 1998. Luka in the 99. I didn't know that. That doesn't matter for the playoffs, but funny insight. Also, Luka is looking very good. Lately, he's shooting very well. And Lakers in general playing defense very well. I was thinking the other day that, Shea might win the MVP race, the MVP trophy. But if I had to choose for one game, I think Luka is better than Shea for one game. I think he has this he can make really tough shots and he can really dominate the game with the pick and roll and with the passing. So yeah, that's the thought I had. I think also for Luka, this injury that he had in the early part of the season has been actually good for him. Not good, but he's arriving now in a very good shape to the playoffs, which usually last year he was arriving already semi-tired, semi-injured, but now he lost, that month and a half of regular season. And now he's a bit fresher. He's looking good. Now, from Luka, will we see the same Luka in defense that we saw last year? He was a bit ridiculous in the playoffs, especially in the finals against Boston. Or will we see a better Luka? To me, I don't know why, but he looks like he's faking trying in defense. But he should mature a bit and realize that he doesn't have to fake because he's a great player. He doesn't have to fake his coach to seem like he's playing defense. No, he should actually try his hardest, and that's it. He shouldn't fake. Fake because sometimes he's putting hands up, but he's not really. He's jumping to all the shots that they are instead of staying in front. He's always jumping. He's always going for the steal when he should just try his best to stay in front of the guy, and that's it. But no, he's like this. Like I said, he's like fake trying. When you jump to block all the shots and you always go for the steal, you're not playing defense. You're just fake trying to play defense. So yeah, that's going to be key for the Lakers if they want to make a big deep run. If Luka actually plays defense, tries to play defense or not. Because even if he's not the best defender, he can be much better than he is. Then from Minnesota, I don't trust Julius Randle. I don't like him. And I feel like Anthony was going to be a bit alone in the offense. And like I said about Rudy Gobert, the weak spot of the Lakers is interior defense, and Minnesota doesn't have interior offense. Like I said, Gobert is not playing inside, and Randle is not really that big in the inside either. So even though Minnesota was looking good, good dynamic lately, I feel like this series is going to be for the Lakers in 6 games, actually. So winning in Minnesota. And that's all for the 4 games that will be played soon today. Tomorrow, I will upload the second part of the preview with the other 4 series that are left. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will watch the playoffs and enjoy it a lot. Give a like, comment, subscribe, and just enjoy the playoffs with me. And that's all. I will try to upload more than I usually do. So yeah. That's all for today. Goodbye. See you in the playoffs. Bye-bye.